What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? This is the Homeroom with Smooth podcast episode number. You know what it is. You clicked on the video. I got with me the one, the only Cody. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm glad to be here.
That's good. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. So tell me about yourself. Like how long you been singing R&B? I mean, I didn't know you for a minute though, but how long you been singing R&B like profession? Like
Well, professionally, I've been performing for over 20 years, 22 to be exact.
ooh,
But R&B music, I've been singing it, I know, for about the last 15 years. The beginning of my career started in the church, with the gospel music and releasing gospel albums.
right.
But then, I'll say about when I turned 15, I'll say 15, I started getting those calls to sing at weddings and family events, family get-togethers, and I started doing the secular, as we say, the secular music. So that's how I got started on the R&B scene.
Okay. So what was one of your first? Because every artist has their SoundCloud debut. What was your first SoundCloud record?
I didn't do SoundCloud.
You never what?
I never did SoundCloud.
See, so then I didn't fail at my research. I was like, bro, I don't see no SoundCloud.
I didn't do SoundCloud. When I started performing, when I started recording, that's why I tell people I started before there were CDs. I started on cassette tapes, and I started recording music on 8-track. That's how far back
Oh,
I
Jesus
started.
Christ.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, when a lot of people start talking about when they began, I sit back and I just listen because I say, oh, okay.
That's crazy. Cause I pride myself in like having do a little research, and I'm like, I don't see no SoundCloud. Maybe he deleted it. I'm gonna ask him about it.
No, I never had it.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. So, what did you first put on a cassette tape then on 8-track?
So I started with the gospel music. I was recording. It was me and my mother, and we were writing little songs here and there. And I would get in the room and just continue to record and have to run it back and do it all over again because it's not digital. Well, it's digital, but it's not to the point where you can go in and manipulate. And if it was at that time, I knew nothing about it. So
Right.
I was like, okay, well, if I mess up, I got to go back and do it again. But I started as a child, so I'm 6, 7 years old, starting to record my own music. Could I play? Probably not. I just knew what I wanted to hear as a child, and I would base things off of how my mother looked or my grandmother looked. If they frowned up or something like that, I know it wasn't that good. But if they, shook their head, yeah, or something like that, then I knew, okay, I might be on the right track.
Right.
But 6, 7 years old, and then, like I said, I released my first set of recordings around 8.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's when I knew I had something.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's when I knew I had something.
Wow. 8.
Yeah.
8. Man, that's a long time to be doing something, man. So since you've been doing it, so what's something that you've learned over the years? You know what I'm saying? Since you've been doing it so long, and you've basically transitioned with the industry. So like, what's some things you've learned?
You just have to study. You got to study, and I'm not saying study a book. I'm not saying study, what somebody gives you. You just have to go out and you have to find. You got to try to figure out what is your sound.
Yeah.
You have to hone your skill. That's what I did, but I honed my skill within the church. I became the head musician for my church at the age of 10.
Ooh.
So I was playing every Sunday at 10 years old. So I had to learn because they're not going to have just no kid playing in the church if he ain't doing something right.
Right.
So I was honing my skill, learning how to play and sing at the same time. And then it was, okay, how can I write a song? Because I didn't start writing my own songs. It was my mom. And I would just tell her, I would say, okay, well, can we do it this way? Can we do it that way? And eventually I just took, the control and started doing the music and then started trying to put pen to paper.
Wow.
So it was just, I say, just practice and study. And when I say study, I was studying artists like Aretha Franklin, Luther Vandross, Al Green, the
Right.
Bee Gees. Um, the list goes on, but those are the people that I studied. Those people that came out the church. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like they came out the church and then they went into that world of R&B soul music.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say you have to study. You got to find something and start trying to make it your own because don't nobody want a copy of somebody. You got to be original.
Boom. I agree with that
So
wholeheartedly.
it was me trying to find something that stood out
Yeah.
in myself that I could perfect.
I love that. I love that. I love that. So what would you say, you know what I'm saying, could would be like your favorite R&B record? Like what's your favorite like or style of record? Like what's cuz I know R&B has a lot of different
It's a
subsections.
lot. It's a lot now.
Yeah.
And that's it. I those are some hard questions. And I know a lot of people would say, "Well, that's just easy. How you do just say your favorite song?" But for me, that's a hard one
Mm.
because I come from the school of soul and authentic R&B music.
Right.
Like I said, I come from the late '80s, early '90s type of R&B.
Yeah.
So but I was raised on the earlier R&B from the '60s and the '70s and the '80s. But
Mhm.
you saying like an artist like right now?
Yeah, like you could pick right now or whenever. Like what is something that you always I, like it always like either inspires you or like it always gets you going. Like it's a record you find yourself coming back to in a car. You know what I'm saying? Like
I like anything Usher releases.
okay.
I do. I really do. Like his song Good Good. Like I like that song and I feel like I like it because it's modern, yes, but then you can still feel those essence of the old school
Yeah.
chords and the chord progressions and things like that. It's just it doesn't lose the essence of old school R&B, but it's still modern enough to be played for years and years to come.
Yes.
So I think that that's the type of R&B I kind of like.
Okay.
The Kenyon Dixons, the
Hmm.
the Lettucey,
Okay.
um, her.
Yeah.
Those are the artists now that I really zone in and listen to.
Yeah. Yeah. That's dope. That's dope, man. So your first project, okay, that you actually put out, more than I knew. More than I knew. So
My first R&B project.
first R&B project.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me clarify. Like I guess on streaming, you know what I'm saying,
Uh-huh.
streaming services, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, you put it out there for consumption,
Right.
like a representation of yourself.
Right.
Like this is where you feel like this is Cody and this is
Yeah.
where he's going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what does that title mean to you?
More than I knew. Well, if we going down, I will go. In college, I had this class.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it was an anthropology class, and it was this girl in there. I don't want to say her name, but her name starts with an S,
Mm-hmm.
and it ends with a Y. Um, but she was
No, I'm playing. I
she was
don't know who she is. I'm playing. I don't know who she is at all.
she was something. She was a beautiful girl, Latina, um, and
Okay, I might know.
I just I just found myself really into her,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to her and asked her out on a date. I literally went up to her and I was like, I don't want to be like other guys and just jump on you and be like, hey, what's up? Nah, can I take you out to dinner? I'd like to take you out to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And she hit me with the, oh, that'd be so sweet, and all
Yeah,
kinds
yeah,
of
yeah.
had me feeling good. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm finna get this.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, so you got any place in particular that you'd like to go? She was like, I can't go because I'm kind of talking to someone right now. Okay. So then that made me think, okay, am I going to continue to pursue or
Mm-hmm.
am I going to just leave it alone? So I went with my latter mind. I said, okay, I'm going to leave it alone for right now. I'm going to leave it alone for right now. Maybe a week later, she, was like, are you still? well, I'm gonna leave that alone. You know, I ain't gonna even. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Cause in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, she says she's with somebody already, so
Right.
I don't want to be like I ain't trying to be no third wheel, you know,
Mm-hmm.
in nothing. I ain't trying to be second best. Nah, I'm good. But I just found myself going over and over and over saying, dang, I probably should. But nah, it wouldn't be right. Cause I'm trying to do the right thing.
I respect that.
Well, I mean, I started sitting around and just thinking, and then I messed around and saw her with a guy. I didn't know if this was the same guy or not, but I saw her with this guy, and I got jealous. I got jealous because I was like, dang, that could have been me.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up leaving it alone. Maybe a year or so passed. I ended up reconnecting with her at a friend's birthday party.
Mm.
And so that got me back, you know, in that old school mind. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, I wonder what she doing now. I ain't gonna ask her. Like she with somebody, and now I'm just gonna leave that alone. But I mean, I started going home and I started thinking about it, and I just started writing. And then I was like, dang, I guess I really liked her. I really loved that girl. I loved her more than I knew I did. So that's where the title "More Than I Knew" came from, and I started writing songs based off of all of those encounters and you know.
That makes the whole track. That makes it make sense. Like the more you talk about that, the more it makes the track list and make sense and all of that. Like written from like because I was wondering that like because it seemed like it was written like as a kind of like a bit of a
It was a love story.
a bit of a love
was a love
letter,
story.
love story to somebody, and I'm just like, well, who could this person be? And I'm like, is it just like this is where you wanted to go, or is there like an actual story connected to it?
It was part of it was true, and then the other part of it was kind of like, okay, it didn't happen this way, but if it were to happen, that's why you have like the song "Dance All Night Long." It was like if we were together, we went out or something like that, we gonna dance all night long. Let's just say that we down the road we got married or something like that. We're on our honeymoon, and that night we just dance. You know, girl, this night belongs to you. You know, that's part of it's one of the verses. So come on, we gonna celebrate and dance the night away. Forgetting all of the negative situations, we're not gonna worry about it. We just gonna dance. And then of course you got to get you alone. Get you alone is self-explanatory.
Yeah, we ain't gotta dive into that. We know.
But that's after that's on the honeymoon night. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I can write this song because this is how I would want it to be. This is how I see it being. But then all of a sudden, reality kicks into me, and then I write the song "He Can't Love You the Way That I Do." So that's where that song came in because reality set in that, dang, she got somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I don't do good with rumors. I've heard how he might have treated her or something like that, but I'm like, okay, well, she's still with him, then evidently whatever he doing for her, she like it. You know? So I'm like, okay, but I mean, he can't love you like I could. So that's where that song came from.
Yeah, I feel that.
So that entire album was written off of reality and my feelings.
Yeah. I feel that wholeheartedly. I can't even get into how deeply I feel that. I can't even get into that because that's gonna get me in trouble, man. I'm trying to be good, man.
Yeah.
Trying to be no, but I respect that, like that whole like, oh, I'm gonna try and do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like pick the right option, and yeah, there's that piece of you that like regrets, like because you think like, oh, I could have did this a different way, and this could have turned out this way,
Right.
but you don't even know if it would have,
Right.
and then you would have just had done the wrong thing for no reason.
That's right. So as I said, I just left it alone and just wrote the album and lived through the album.
Yeah, for sure, man. So then the next one that you did was The Sides of Love. So what was your process to getting to The Sides of Love?
Okay, I work with an incredible, musical engineer, vocal producer, Ferocious. Shout out to Ferocious, and Ferocious Productions.
We're recording there, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Shout out to Ferocious, that's my guy. Actually, we started The Size of Love with a song, which is the last song, as a matter of fact, Bad at Love. And when I wrote Bad at Love, I was still in the same mindset of More Than I Knew.
Mm.
But I didn't want to add a Bad at Love to More Than I Knew, because More Than I Knew was supposed to be like this love story album, and it wouldn't have fit. So then you have Bad at Love. Why did I title it Bad at Love? I mean, I guess we were bad at love. I mean, it didn't work out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I started writing this album, and then I found myself saying, what can I talk about that I didn't already talk about on the first album? Because we don't want a continuation album. We want something that's fresh. We want something that's, new, but I don't want it to lose Cody. I don't want it to lose me, because I don't want to go too far away that it turns out to not being who I am as an artist. I took about 2 years to write this album.
Oh wow.
Because I started as soon as More Than I Knew dropped. Within maybe 6 months, I was back in the studio recording. And I'll back up. Within 6 months, I was back in the studio recording a song called In Love With You. So In Love With You was also another track that could have been on the first album. But then I was like, okay, but I want to release something for like Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So that's where In Love With You came from. So I released In Love With You as, a Lucy.
Lucy, yeah.
And then that's when Bad at Love came. So I'm sitting up here thinking, okay, we got In Love With You, we got Bad at Love, two completely, different songs. You got a love song, you got an out of love song. What do you do? Two sides of love. How can you mix these two songs on the same album? Like, to me, I don't think they would fit.
Right.
So here I am. I'm talking to my guy Ferocious. I'm saying, okay, what are we gonna do? Like, what can we do here? And we started realizing, okay, so we got two sides of love. Which side are you gonna be on? So it's kind of like an A side, B side album. The Sides of Love. You got an in love side. You got the out of love side.
Okay. So then, what inspired you to write that letter to R&B though? Like to start it off that way?
The letter to R&B actually was a collaboration between Ferocious and me, because we were trying to figure out, what can we say about R&B? What can we say about R&B that a lot of people don't already know? What can we say about R&B that I feel? What can we say about R&B that he feels? And we just, kind of collabed on that.
Okay, that's what's up. Man. So what I want to ask you about the previous project, but I ask you now, of the people that you've been working with, like, what was your favorite, like, person to work with?
Yes, in regards to artists or?
Like artists.
Okay, with artists. I've worked with K-Ray, rapper here in the city, Penn Davis, rapper in the city, BT, rapper, in the city. Who else? My mother. I would say my mother is probably my most favorite person that I've worked with on in regards to collaborations. But I've enjoyed working with with all of them, because I'm sitting up here like, if I'm working with you, that means I really want to work with you. Yeah. So I gotta like you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I've enjoyed working with all of them, but I can say my mother is probably my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to mom.
Shout out to mom.
Man, so with that, I guess we'll transition over to the other side, the production side. Like, who was your favorite working with production wise?
Well, Ferocious. I mean, it's literally only him and me.
Oh, like, on the whole thing?
That's it. I sit down and I produce my own music.
Okay.
Like, I get behind the board and I record my own drums and my own keys and all of that. I arrange my entire song. No one does that for me.
Okay, that's heat.
I bring it to Ferocious. We sit down, we discuss it, We talk about the direction vocally, that we want to go with it. Do we want this? I might have written it, as a sad song or a happy song or just a feel-good song. But how are we going to relay this message vocally? That's where Ferocious comes in. And he vocal produces me. Okay, give me some more feeling here. Give me some more feeling here. If there is some pieces where it doesn't fit, I mean, we have that relationship where it's, it's, I think this is what we need to do. I don't like this, and that's okay. I mean, we have that type of, communication within the studio. That's exactly what I wanted as an artist. I don't need a yes man behind me. I don't need someone telling me every time I release something or every time I do something behind the mic, oh, that's good. I don't want that. Yeah. Because if I have that, then I need to find somebody else that's going to, tell me, try that again or do something different. Right. Ferocious is that guy for me.
That's what's up.
Yep. So I would have to say, when it comes to him and I working together, it's a great bond that we have and that we formed. I had to go and ask Ferocious, a time or two. What you think? What you think about this? I like this. And there are times where I'm let down, and he'll say, "I think you can do better. It's almost there, but I think you can do better." But that's the type of relationship I want.
Yeah.
That's the type of relationship you want. You don't want a yes man.
Yeah. You need somebody to push you and get you over that hurdle. Because I guess what I see from, what I'm saying, like, as far as like with you, like I see like you're making your music, it sounds like, for the wider audience of people that like R&B and soul music. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like there was a conscientious focus there to make sure it sounds good in the pantheon of music, right? If your thing came up on Pandora, people would want to listen to it. Versus, I see other like local artists that seem like they're in competition with each other, and I'm just like, why? You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to know, like, how'd you get out of that mindset to where you weren't like city focused and you were just focused on being great in general?
I was never in that mindset. When I said that I was going to record music, that's exactly what I meant. I said I was going to record music for everybody. No matter where you are, no matter your state of mind, no matter, if you like bluegrass music, or to gospel music, to rock music, to R&B music, I was going to make music for everybody that everybody could be comfortable with listening to. And you don't have to worry about any cuss words in my music. It's just good music. You know, you can get up and dance. You can lay down and cry. Yeah. But it's for everybody. And I mean, we have quite a bit of, talent within the city. And we have people who are very dope at what they do.
Right. Absolutely.
But something that, and I just think we, as the state of Arkansas, we have a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do, because I could come out here and be proud of my music, and I want people to hear my music. That's not the same with everybody here. And I don't know what it is. I don't have that answer. I wish I did. I wish somebody could literally just tell me the answer. But I just wish we, as artists, because what I'm attempting to try to do is drop that local term. Yeah, I'm trying my best to drop that local term, because I feel like it diminishes us as artists, by calling them local. Yes. And so that's something that I really wish the state or the city would work on, is dropping that local term.
Right. Because if you're in California, right, no artist says, "Oh, I'm a California artist," right, or whatever. They might mention like, "Oh, I'm a Bay Area native," like, "Oh, this is where I'm from," but they're just an artist at the end of the day. Right. They never any of those says, "Oh, you're just the San Bernardino rapper from so and so." No, nobody does that. "Oh, we got so and so coming to the stage," and that's it. Yeah. That's all they give you.
No, I'm an artist.
Yes.
Okay, I'm an artist. I don't mind singing my own music. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to hear my music. I may not have anybody giving me a clap or anything at the end of my song, but at the end of the day, I'm proud to perform my music
Right.
and to say that this is mine.
Yes.
But I haven't had that issue. I mean, people have liked what I've, given them. And I also, you know, I really want to say this in the nicest way possible, but
Just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Just say it.
you got to be careful. I work hard in the studio
Yeah.
to
It sounds like it.
sing like I will sing live.
Yeah.
It's not overly produced. It's not heavily auto-tuned
It ain't.
because I'm gonna flat foot sing for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sing for you, and I feel like that could possibly be an issue sometime with artists. I've mentioned it before. When you come to the studio, you try to lead with the best product. In order to lead with the best product, sometimes it has to be overly, doctored.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thankful that I can get behind a microphone and sing and then go out and perform live and sound like myself or sound like I did on my record.
Right.
And that may be an issue for some people, but it's not an issue for me.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, cause that's what I was. That's why I asked the question because like I listened to it and I'm just like, yo, this dude is like, this is just he just singing R&B. Like I felt like I sat down in the studio with you. I felt like I wouldn't have a loss of quality if I was sat down in there versus the car or whatever. It'd be the same.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm like, oh yeah, this dude different.
Yeah, but that's why I tell people too. R&B ain't cheap.
Yeah.
It ain't cheap. You can't just come to the studio and, well, you can. I've done it. But I'm saying you can't just come to the studio and think that you are going to leave with the perfect song and every piece of the song, every section of the song is going to be perfect in that one setting for maybe an hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours. R&B takes time.
Yeah.
I will tell you, the only song that I've recorded and I've only done it in 2 hours was my first song that I released, and that was the song You and Me. That was on the More Than I Knew album. I released that as my lead single. And that was the first time I worked with Ferocious. And I literally booked maybe an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes or whatever. In those 2 hours, that song was completed. That was the only time that a song was recorded that fast, for me in regards to any of those songs that came later on.
Right.
Sometimes it takes 2-3 hour sessions to record one song for me.
Yeah.
And I say that because once I record, I'm recording lead vocals, I'm recording backing vocals. It's all me. But I do the homework at home, which is I practice how I want my song to go or have the idea of how I want my song to go. I've already done the production. While I'm doing the production, I'm writing.
Yep.
And when I come to the studio, I may sing it through, for Ferocious one time. This is how this is the idea. This is our demo.
Okay.
And then we go back and we fix, what we need to fix. I lay down those backing vocals. And then it's off to the races then.
Okay. Hey, so what more can people expect from you going forward? Because we're now in the 2024.
Yeah.
What can people expect from you going forward?
You'll see me on stage soon.
Okay.
Again. You'll see me again on stage.
Oh yeah.
That's something that I've wanted to do for the public, for some time. I've always been on the stage. Let me be clear. I've always been on the stage. I just have never gotten the opportunity to do it for the public, I guess you can say. I haven't gotten booked to do it for just, a weekend here or whatever. But, I've always performed for, the family events, the weddings, the company Christmas parties and things like that. Nothing for the public.
Right.
So what I did was um, I put together my own showcase so that I could show Little Rock, this is what Cody does. You know, this is what he does. Um, this is how I want our music scene to look. I want it to look like it was put together.
Yeah.
I want it to look like we actually took our time and worked on a show.
Facts.
You know, and I think that's why I said I want people to drop that local term, because at the end of the day, artists, it takes time to be an artist. You can't just jump up and say, I want to be a singer today and just go throw something down and then think people are going to take off and say, yeah, he's the guy, he's the one. No, it takes time.
Yeah.
And
you gotta
so
build that.
I want people to really take that into consideration when they are putting together things. I took my time. It took me an entire year and a half to build that show. There were a lot of headaches, you know, attempting to create that show. People signing contracts and saying that they were going to do X, Y, and Z, and then taking half of their money up front and then not even performing a service. Couldn't get in contact with them, not answering texts, not answering phone calls. But you got half of your money though.
Yeah.
So I took a lot of falls in you know during that time, but it didn't stop me, because at the end of the day I knew what I wanted to do and I knew what I had to give the city. I knew what I wanted to give the city. I knew what the city deserved, and they deserved a show where people can come and get their money's worth. And that's what I wanted to do for the people, and that's what I did.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. That's big, man. So listen, y'all. Look, y'all go download, you know what I'm saying, Sides of Love, right?
Sides of Love.
Okay, yeah. I just had a moment. I don't know what just happened. So look, y'all make sure y'all go download the Sides of Love, all right? Y'all make sure y'all tap into More Than I Know. Y'all make sure y'all stay looked out for my boy, you know what I'm saying, coming to a stage near you. You know what I'm saying? This has been another episode of the Homeroom with Smooth podcast. Thank you for coming.
I appreciate you having me.
All right, y'all. See you.